Good afternoon. Welcome to Jim Munley's World of Weather. You clicked on to long-range weather forecast discussion for June 15th to 29th. And don't forget, you can check my podcast. Usually is around 7 p.m. at night. It'll be live. And if you want, you can send me emails, and I'll discuss them over the air. But we got to get to it now. It's called All Weather Radio. Okay, we're going to look at the period now for June 15th to 19th, and we have the guidance here is good agreement with the flow. Trough in the west, ridging in the east with a zone of flow as we go through the period. We come here to the 19th, you see we have a zone of flow here across the northern states, and this will have embedded energies within that that'll track over the ridge. Then we'll have energy from the southwest that'll lift northeastward. We'll go to the surface and look at that. So for the 15th. Next Saturday, we'll have a system here moving here and then across the northern states. And we'll have additional energy within this, within the stream that will interact this region, bringing rain and storms. Heavy showers and rain over south central Florida are forecast to decrease going into the weekend as the main axis of tropical moisture drifts westward across Mexico and then affects the western Gulf Coast region. So now we're going to look at the rainfall amounts. Okay, that's something different. This is the rainfall amounts that we're looking at here. So we're keeping our eye down here around the Gulf. This is the GFS. Doesn't show much areas, pockets of 1 inch or so, but there's precipitation that will be occurring, heavy precipitation, and then that'll move out as they go through the weekend. And then, as I told you before, we'll have several waves moving across the northern states, bringing rain and storms to the region. You can see we have pockets of 2 inches, 1 to 2 inches of rain falling in that region. And then the ridge that's been in the southwest causing the heat will build into the Midwest and the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. And this will cause this will cause humidity and heat to expand eastward. And we'll take a look at the temperature for this region. I think that's the wrong map. I have the wrong map. Okay, we're going to go here to the east. Now, as we look at the temperatures here, this will be into next week. You start seeing upper 80s, near 100 degrees down here across the southeast. And then as you go into Tuesday and Wednesday, you start seeing 90s. And upper 80s, low 90s for New York City. As we get later into the week, this will be, I think, Tuesday the 18th. And then it'll spread eastward Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as well. And then we start seeing a cool down again, and that pushes heat down to the south again, but not much relief there. Okay, we're going to look at the forecast now for June 20th to 24th. And we still have our trough ridge configuration. And most of the models showing this, but if you look at the European, as we go to the end of the period, I mean, not the European, the GFS, has a strong ridge here over the Mid-Atlantic, 594 DM. So that's a pretty strong ridge for this time of year. So it'll still remain pretty hot next week across this region. But most of the other models are generally depicting trough ridge configuration. So for this forecast period, I am calling for above normal temperatures for much of this region here, with anomalies near or greater than 8 degrees above normal For precipitation, calling for above normal precipitation here. And for this region, probability of occurrence 35 to 40%, and below normal precipitation forecast here. And for this region, probability of occurrence is near 35%. Now we're going to look at the period for June 25th to 29th. And then we start seeing the flow begin to flatten. However, there's still indications. You can see here of a weak trough here in the west. Overall zonal flow with above normal heights. So for this forecast period, calling for above normal temperatures for much of the country, and anomalies could be near or greater than 8 to 10 degrees above normal. And for precipitation, calling for below normal precipitation here, and the probability of occurrence is 35 to 40%. Okay, now we're going to look at the tropics. Get to one thing. Okay, we have two areas of concern to watch here. Okay, we have this area here, bringing rain and storms to Florida, and then this area down here too is being watched for possible development. You can see starting to see a blow up of thunderstorms. It's mainly over land, but you're starting to see a little bit of a spin possibly developing here. This still remains organized. This has a better chance of developing over the next 7 days. The National Hurricane Center gives it a 30% chance of development, while it gives this one over the next 7 days a 20% chance. So this is it here. And if we look at the National Hurricane Center, you can see this is what we're calling for. And we'll look at their 7-day outlook. You can see here is a 30%, and then here is a 20%. This hasn't changed much. We really have to watch this area down here. And this is forecast to drift west-northwestward as we go through the next several days. So tropics are starting to heat up. It's in the typical areas where we expect during this time of year. We have to keep an eye on this for now. So that's it for now. That's the long range weather forecast discussion for June 15th to 29th. Thanks for coming to Jim Munley's World of Weather, and have a good day.